Pretty Petals is the title of this collection. There are 3 parts to it, and we have some beautiful projects for you, and I am so excited to be able to share with you how to do this paper holder out of vellum. So I think that's going to be a fun thing to share. Won't you please come play with us? Now, the Pretty Petals collection is from Katy Designs from England, and it starts with this 8x8 collection. Now, there are 24 double-sided papers in here, and you're getting I believe three of each one. So, and you can see that the colors are very soft in this kind of a salmon color, in the green, white, and tan. So just really pretty. There's also the toppers. Now the toppers are foiled. You get 3 different sheets. Let's see, so 1, 2, you can see the foiling, how pretty. 3, and you get 2 of each of those. So that's going to give you a lot. And then you also have sentiment toppers. Now there are 48 of these. You get 2 of these sheets that I'm showing you, and I'm wiggling it so you can see the foiling. So that's the basis of what I've done. But now let me show you what I did as I was using them. So I'm going to start with this card. And there we go. Thank you. We moved in closer. And I loved this topper. I love the shape of it. You can see it's got 2 pieces. And I chose to take my 5 by 6.5 inch card, and I cut 1 inch off the opening edge. Then I cut this piece, and you can see it right there. It kind of looks like a woven piece. And I inked it with the Velvet Fawn. Now, the instructions are down below with all the measurements, but you can tell that I left the white card showing, so it's obviously smaller than that card, and did ink it with the Velvet Fawn. Something I want to share with you. I've been using the blending brush for a long time, as I'm sure you have also, but kind of what I discovered is that what I was doing before is I would take my paper and I would kind of scrub the edge in a circular motion. And that gave me the inking a little bit further into the paper. What I'm doing now is I'm tapping it and I'm kind of just going on the edge like this. And it gives me almost a feathered look. And I'm finding that for when I want a smaller edge, that works better for me. So I did want to share that with you. We don't want to keep any secrets from either one of us, do we? Okay, so then this piece has been taped in place. Now these papers do have a bit of a shine. So my trusty favorite, the glue stick, isn't the best adhesive. So the specialist glue is perfect. You can use the tear tape, whatever you like. So that's going to be good. So I placed that there, and then I glued that beautiful foil topper in place and foam taped this one. But before I foam taped it, I did more inking because there just wasn't enough definition, I thought, for it to really show. So I wanted that to be a little bit stronger definition. In fact, you can see it right here. See how light that is? Well, I wanted it to be darker, so I made it darker, all with the magic of an ink pad and a blender brush. Now, the ribbon, the lace, I just thought that was a perfect addition for these soft colors. And this is our lace, and it's, I think it's 2 or 3, doesn't say right there, it's 2 or 3 yards. And I did put down extra sticky tape because, well, 2 things. It's going to be transparent, but it's really going to hold that in place. So I just just put a piece right down the edge of the paper and then placed the lace on top of it. But then it was kind of okay, but I felt it needed a balance. So I put another row of tape on the back of the card front and put the lace there. And I liked that positioning worked out really nicely. Now, I wanted something else in it. I could have gone to a bow, but I thought, well, that was kind of, I've done that before. So what else can I do? So I went to our new lace butterflies, we've got lace flowers, and I have to tell you, I went back and forth. Should I put the smaller one or should I put the larger one? What should I do? So, oh, actually I could have done both, can't I? Ooh, that's kind of neat. Well, I didn't do that. I did the larger one. I did use the extra sticky tape to attach it, and that way, and notice that I let this little wing go outside that cut edge, okay? And that's all I did to the front. The For You was right there, so I had my greeting. Then on the inside, I used this paper. And again, I wanted to define an edge, so I cut it a little bit smaller than my 5 by 6.5 inch card, and did ink the edge again with the velvet fawn, as you can see. Now, I wanted to use this topper, and let me find, I guess it's this one. La la, yes, okay, it's this one. And I thought, well, that's really pretty, but I can't put it this way, so I guess I can't use it. And then I thought, Paulette, don't do that. Figure out a way that you can use it. So I placed it vertically and then popped the inside out and placed that horizontally. Now, everything is glued in place, and you just want to make sure that it doesn't peek out behind this cover, just like that. I also wanted to have these flowers positioning so you could see them. So I just made sure as I was cutting my paper that it would work nicely. So this is the smaller butterfly, as you can tell. I thought that that was nice. It kind of overlapping everything, just placed them together. So For You, sent with love. My greetings are there. The foiling adds a beautiful look, and I like the added lace. I just thought that was fun. Now, what I did use in my case, instead of my trusty glue stick, is I used this tape runner. It is, what I like about it, it is refillable. I'm a kind of a nut about recycling and so forth, so I really like the fact of that I don't just throw this whole thing away and get another one, that I can use it and put a refill in it. So that made me happy. Okay, that is our first card. Now let's go to our second. And this is a tuxedo card. It arrives flat and then it will stand up. Very fun. Okay, how do you do that? Well, we have a cutting die for that. And here is the cutting die. If you've not done this before, it is super easy, super easy. And let me show you. Let's see, I think I have the pieces in here. Well, obviously, you have this piece, which makes the tuxedo. And then you have the crossbar, which is going to hold the piece in place that's going to be standing up. There's just a piece right under there. And then there's the piece in the front, which is this. So what this looks like, now this is fabulous folded, so that means that it's going to come in this wallet. It's going to have illustrations, and it's going to have text, and it's going to have a sample. So kind of everything that you need is there. So let me just walk you through this. So when you have this, about the only thing you need to decide is what color do you want facing out. Now, I used, in fact, I need to tell you what I used. I used the Botanical Library. Now, I shared this tip a couple of weeks ago, but to choose this, I went to our website, typed in this case, I typed in Botanical Library because I wanted to see. And what you will see is this, and you'll see a little thumbnail. Click on the thumbnail and you can print this out. Then you can take this to your papers and decide, do you have colors here that you want to use with the pretty petals? And I decided yes, there was. So the green is what I have used here. And I'm really happy with it. It's light green on the outside and dark green on the inside. And I just think it's perfect. And so anyway, that's a way that you can find out. So Botanical Library has been used. Now, this of course is the pink one. But what you'll do is you will take this, cut it out, and put extra sticky tape on the outside edges. Okay, then turn it, and you're going to fold. Everything's going to be in a mountain fold, all three of them. Then this is the crosshatch. You're going to put extra sticky tape on the flaps and put them in onto the card just like so. And this gives you the measurements. It is 2 3/4 inches from the bottom, 2 3/4 inches up. Then this piece, you're going to fold. This is how you cut it. And you're going to fold those down. That's the tuxedo look. Remove those liners, position that, and you have got your tuxedo. All you need to do is to decorate it. So easy. Now, our 10 envelopes will fit this, so we are not leaving you stranded in any way, shape, or form. So let me show you what I did. So I did it out of the green, and what I wanted to use was this really pretty topper. You see how delicately it's foiled? So I have simply used the extra sticky tape to attach it so that it would not be any taller than the top of my tuxedo, because that way it will fit into my envelope. So I didn't make it hugely taller, but it works perfectly on your special day. So that was nice. Now, I wanted to use some papers to cover up these parts of the tuxedo. And I elected to use these two. Notice there's a difference in the scale of the art. One is smaller, one is larger. So what I did, and I have patterns for you. They are a download that will be over by the instructions down below. So I made this little guy, and I wanted to position it so that a little bouquet would show on each one. Super easy. Just position it on top, trace it, and cut it out. No big deal. You've got the pattern there. Just flip it over for the other side. Okay? And that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. Now, for this area down here, I used the smaller pattern. And that, I used this pattern. So it's going to fit right there. Flip it over, and it will fit right there. And again, you have both of those. So that's going to work nicely. Then, because this has got some foiling on it, I wanted to reinforce that foiling. I wanted to have more going on. So I took, let me reach it over here. Okay, this is the Thin Line Gold Dazzles. You can get it by the sheet, or you can get it in a pack with different colors. And you can see I just put a piece there, there, on each area of the bottom pieces. Also on the green area, you can see that. I also did it on the back side, all the way around. Okay, so we'll go back to that in a minute. So that took care of it. And that was nice. Then I've got, on your special day can be anything. It could be your birthday, it could be graduation, it could be a wedding, it could be anything. And I like that being so kind of universal. So I decided to make this a happy birthday, and I used the More Greetings Dazzles. Now these are in black, white, gold, silver, and brown, I believe. And something I wanted to share with you, and this is what I do. This is the retractable pen, and when you push it like this, that blade is going to pop out. I use it to hold my dazzles. Now, in this case, I trimmed this in half. So happy and birthday are connected. So before I did anything, I went onto my sheet and cut this right next to the bee. Okay, just like that, no big deal. That means I can separate them because I needed to separate them here. And I know I use gold here and I'm doing brown here, but that's just what I'm doing. So if you want, this is what I do, is I lift it off like so, and then I put it on my blade. You could also lift it off with your blade. And what this does is it kind of gives me a third hand so that when I want to place it, I can position it. And if I don't place it correctly to begin with, I can lift it off because it's forgiving. And I really like that in a product. And it's just, I can just position it so easily. So I highly recommend, if you've never used this, that that's a way that you can. So now I'm going to put it back on the sheet because I can use it again, obviously. And we'll just leave it there. Okay, so that will work. Then I wanted to add something else. Now, butterflies come to mind when you've got flowers, but I really wanted to do something a little different. So I used the hearts, and these are the heart dazzles. They come on a sheet. I think there are 358, so that should take care of you. And I did the same thing. I lifted them off with my pen. So I put a large one here, and then I did the gradation. I've done that with butterflies before, so small, medium, large. And the hearts come in a couple of sizes. You can see the ones that I used. There's kind of a folk heart that is elongated, and then kind of a an equidistant heart, more of a common heart. So my common hearts are there, my folk heart is there, and that was just enough. Now, on the back, where I want to write my greeting, I elected to go with this. So I'm going to retract this blade so I don't stab myself or anybody else. And then I went into the sentiment toppers, and as I showed you, they've got some really nice greetings on them. So with love, and I used the white one because the green one I felt would be too close in color to the green that I used. And then I've got more of the folk hearts right there. So this is all done, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm going to use that cutting die again. This is the first time I've used it. Okay, now I'm going to go into this card. And I want to show you this vellum flower holder. I just love it. It's so fun. And Susan Cobb, I believe, designed this back in the old days. And it's just lovely. But before we get there, I've got my regular card. And I did ink the edges. This is with khaki. And you can see the feathering. So that's another example of that feathering. You almost get sometimes a little bit of a streak, and I like that. Then, and sorry, I don't have it, but I used our oval cutting dies, and this is the largest oval. So I die cut that out of this piece. And this is all over ferns. I think it's a beautiful paper. So I die cut that out, and then I did the khaki along the edges. And then I glued it right onto the card. Then I took vellum. This is our dotted vellum. And I've said this before, but sometimes people will ask me on the printed vellum like this, it's white on vellum. Is there a right side and a wrong side? There isn't, but there is a side that's printed, and you can see that if you hold it up to light, it will be shiny on that side and it's dull on the other side. So you just decide which one you want to have showing. Now, initially, I thought maybe I would need a bigger piece. So the first piece I cut out, and I did it like this, I did it out of newspaper, okay? This is 6 inches by 6 inches. It's too big. I ended up using a 4-inch by 4-inch square, but I thought this would be nice to show you the process. So whenever you've got a square and you turn it on point, you've got a diamond, okay? Then you're going to simply, this is so easy, you're going to go from the bottom point and simply push up and bring this over. That's all you're doing. Then you're going to repeat it on the other side so you have a point. And then you're going to take these two corners and fold them down. And that is your piece. That is all there is to it. So you can do it 6 inches or you can do it 4 inches. Isn't that a dramatic difference in the size? But the 4-inch really served me better in this case. So that's what I did. Now, when you're gluing this in place, what I did is I took that tape runner and just put a little piece of it where my finger is, behind the vellum, because I knew I was going to put this on top, so I knew it would cover it up. So that's what I wanted. Then I folded my vellum in. Now with vellum, you kind of get one shot because whatever you crease it or fold it, that's going to stay. So you want to make sure that you're folding it where you want it because you don't want to have multiple pieces. So what I did is I took a Zot and I put it over or underneath the piece that is going to attach to the other one, the two flaps. They kind of overlap a little bit, and that way it's going to hold it down. Then I could glue this piece in place or tape it in place. And this is one of the cutouts from the papers. So let's see. Well, I guess I don't have it, but there are big cutouts like this, and there are little cutouts. This is obviously a small cutout. Now the thing that I wanted, this doesn't have foiling on it, but I love that foiling look, and I thought, aha, I know that you can take dazzles and take them around a circle or a curve. And now not all the dazzles will work this way, but when you've got a dazzle like this one, and it's right here, it is more open. So it's going to allow you to kind of just place it in that arc. So that's what I did, and it just goes right around, and I'm very pleased with that. Now, I did take this topper because it's the same artwork, and I wanted just a little bit more of that foiling to be on my card front. So I simply glued it just right going under. So you can still read, "Today is a perfect day just for you." My ribbon is out of the white ribbon set, and it's been zotted in place. And I have started zotting down the tails because around here, our cards get handled because we'll make them and then they go to photography, then they come back, and they can get really kind of mauled a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that those stayed where I wanted them. So that was my card front. On the card inside, now on the card inside, I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to use this? But it was just a little too big to really do what I wanted on the inside. So I simply took a piece of that same piece that I cut off here and just made it straight. Took another of the dazzles from the same package, and I made another little flower holder. And you'll notice that this one is going from the left. This one is going from the right. This time, instead of a bow, I just knotted it. I used the With Love that is foiled, as you can see, and again, tucked it under. So kind of the same process, just to duplicate it, because, you know, if you've got one of these, two of them is just even better. And I liked the curving of the dazzles and then the straightness of the dazzle. I thought that worked very nicely. And all you want to do is just make sure that whatever you want to put in here will fit. Now, you could, if you had die cuts that were flowers, you could put them in. If you have a cutting die of flowers, you could do individual blossoms. Lots of possibilities with this vellum flower holder. Okay, one more card, one more process to share. And on this card, I wanted to add something new. And just like I did the lace, these are the embossed round die cuts. And they're round because their opening is round. There are 4 of them. And I used one on this card, so I might as well show you the others. And they are embossed, they're raised edge. And let's see, I showed this to you earlier, and I thought this was so pretty, and I happened to lay this down on it, and I loved, well, you see, this one is really the perfect one to use. This one, this opening here is a little bit too small, but I love the fact that So Happy for You really showed, and I just love the way it looked. I thought it was just really pretty. So, okay, so so I used the tiny print. You can see that that's got a very tiny print. Now what's interesting is that there's no white in here, but the white I thought worked really well. Now the white is here, so I've duplicated it all the way through the white card, the white border dazzles, the white frame, and the white bow. But I love the softness of this. So of course, now there's no inking, surprisingly. This has been trimmed down to probably 4.5 by 6, but you'll see it in the directions, and glued that in place. and did this and then positioned. Actually, I glued this to the back of the circle so that I wouldn't get it out of position. So I put this behind the circle and then glued that down. The bow again is zodded, the tails are zodded, the ribbon, the dazzles are there, and the dazzles come from the lacy border dazzles. Now, these are the dazzles I used before out of the single sheet, but they also come in a collection of different colors, so you can get them both ways. Okay, you ready for the inside? So very light, very soft. You got that, very pale. Now on the inside, bam! Not only do we have a powie with that surprise inside, is that, yes, inside surprise, but we've also got more of the gold showing. So very fun. So again, on the front, we've got those tiny little flowers and a big greeting, if you will. On the inside, I chose the white flowers, and I simply took this 8x8 sheet and cut it in half and then trimmed it down to fit. So it's about 6 inches long, and just cut it in half and glued these in the center. And then I put the dazzles on each edge. And then this piece, how fun is that? I mean, it's just a pow. I mean, you really see that. So that came out of the inside surprise cutting dies. And I like that this has such a, as I said, such a pow to it. So there are 3 pieces. And the mechanism, let's see, if you're not familiar with these are fabulous folded dies. They happen to be ours, of course. But on the package that will hold the dies, you will get illustrations and text. That's just great. That's the way to do it. And here is the mechanism. Super easy. You do put extra sticky tape on it, and you simply fold those 2 pieces. Then you have these 2. There is a label, and you can also mat. So you've got 2 of those. You can use them or not, whatever you like. And in this case, not in this case, in any case, you're going to take your piece, put the extra sticky tape, and then fold it to the back, just like this. And then what I'm looking for is a blank card, and I'm not seeing it. So I will just do it with this one. So you need to position that. You can see where that one is. So remove the liner and have the card open and flat. And notice there's nothing over the score line. And position this so that this point is on your score line, and place it like so. Now, according to the directions, you want to place it 1.5 inches from the top. That's important, especially when you have something this large, because you want to make sure it stays within the card when the card is closed, okay? So simply do that, remove the tape, position that, put them down. Now, as I said, I used the larger piece. I didn't use the smaller one. So I used that one. You're going to tape this to the bottom edge. And notice it's not over by the score line. It's over at the edge of this score line. Okay, that's important because otherwise it won't close. And you can see I used the brown out of the Botanical Library. And then I placed this piece, this great big greeting, and then this smaller greeting. Now this smaller cutout did not have any foiling. Well, I can fix that because I have dazzles. I have fat dazzles. I can do things, and I just did it top and bottom. So that really pleased me because I kind of hadn't thought of it before. So the way this card reads is, so happy for you, sending special wishes your way, here's to the best day. So again, it's very generic. It could be for anything, and you've got room to write your message. So very fun, very fun. And I hope you like the splash of gold on the inside and the soft colors on the outside. That was fun to do. And using some new product. You will see this again because I'm quite taken by these. Okay, that's what I have for you this time. This is Pretty Petals. and some cutting dies and some foiled toppers. I do love the foiling, do love it. And also the sentiment toppers. So you get quite a collection of things to work with for your creativity, and that's what I absolutely love. Now again, all of the directions are down below, and all of the materials that I used are down below, so you can see that. We do have a money saver. We might as well save you some dollars while we're at it. That's on the right-hand side of the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you'll like us, hope you'll subscribe. Tell me what you think, and head on over to paperwishes.com, take advantage of the money saver, and I hope you like these. I absolutely love doing these webisodes with you. Paulette's Paper Play is absolutely what it's all about, and learning why I did what I did. And I do want to tell you one other thing, is that a lot of companies will sell you product, but I think we're the only one that will actually show you ways that you can use it. And that's important to us, and I'm happy to have that, and I hope it's important to you too. So, okay, so that's it for today. I want to thank you so much for being part of our Paper Wishes family, and we'll see you next time.